give thanks to Allah. Allahu Ghafoor, Allahu Rahim, Allahu Yuhibbul Muhsinin, wa Khaliquna wa Raziquna, wa huwa ala kulli shay'in qadir. Allah is Ghafoor, Allah is Rahim.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. We thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the ever-existing being that has been existing before the existence of existence. When he wanted existence to exist, he created existence and told existence that I want to exist. But while you are existing, he said, I shall continue to exist. And it shall come to a time that you shall cease to exist and I shall continue to exist. Kullu shay'in fani illa Allahu baki. Kulli la ummal mulika al-mulki tutil mulika man tasha. Wa tanzi'ul mulika mimman tasha wa tu'izu man tasha wa tuzillu man tasha. بيدك الخير إنك على كل شيء قدير. تولج الليل في النهار وتولج النهار في الليل وتخرج الحي من الميت وتخرج الميت من الحي وترزق من تشاء بغير حساب. Once again, you're welcome to this auspicious program, Tag Deen Lifestyle, on Citizen FM 93.7, and I still remain yours, Olayode Abdul Razak, aka Philosopher King, Mashallah. It's another beautiful Friday, and thank God it's Friday, as we used to say. All right, today is another beautiful day, and we have another beautiful discussion, inshallah. The discussion we have today is going to be an open mic discussion. Right away, you can start calling in to present your views. You can call in to make observation. You can call in to make contributions, or if you have questions you want to ask, you can equally call in to ask your questions, inshallah. But I have a pause. I have a discussion. I have something that has been bothering me, and I want you to equally, put your mouth, and let's see how far we can solve a problem. Let's see how far we can save a life, and let's see how far we can make this world a better place for you and I to live. Now, the poser is this: Nigeria is the most religious country. Nigeria has been said to be one of the most religious country, and is equally one of the most corrupt. Did you hear this? That Nigeria has been classified as one of the most religious country, and has also been classified as one of the most corrupt. How can you put that, side by side? How can you laconically juxtapose that? A people in a country are most religious, and they are equally most corrupt. La ilaha illallah. Where then is the place of religion? What has religion done to you? What has religion done to me? What is the essence of being religious? If you look by your side, left, right, and center, you will find mosques around you, you find churches around you, and you still wonder, why are Nigerians, most Nigerians, why is it the fact that we are corrupt? And when I talk about corruption, I don't mean political corruption alone. I don't mean money embezzlement alone. I'm talking about corruption that is in family. In each family there are corruption. Father cheating, mother cheating. Lack of taking care of your children. What is happening to your marriage? When we talk about corruption, we are talking about human personal development. We are talking about human relations. Why is it that we cannot live with one another in peace? What has religion taught you? What has it taught me? Religion is here to save us. Religion is here to take us out of this mess. And we are mostly religious. But why is it that we are politically corrupt? Why are we morally corrupt? Why are we socially corrupt? Why are we academically corrupt? Why are we marital corrupt? La ilaha illallah. In every facet of life, you still see corruption. You see inadequacies. You see people not trusting people. You don't have that mindset to live with one another without cautioning, without having a setback. What is the problem? Where did we get it wrong? That is the discussion this morning, inshallah. This afternoon, inshallah. The numbers to call if you want to be part of this discussion, the number to call remains 0903 22 29 797. Again, 0903 22 29 097. You can equally call 0818 22 22 205. Again, 0818 22 22 205. You can equally call 0818 22 22 206. Those are the numbers to call to be part of the discussion. You can call in and make your contribution known. You can call in and equally ask question more. You can equally call in if you have observation. You can equally call in if you want to contribute to this discussion. Nigeria is said to be one of the most religious country, and you will agree with me with that. With what you see around you, what we see around us, we see the buildings of religion. We see religious. We see people, going to mosque, going to churches, and here and there. But Nigeria is equally classified as one of the most corrupt. Then we want to put this side by side. How do we look at it? How do we see it? Where do we get it wrong? If you want to be part of this discussion, once again, the number to call remains 0903 22 29 797. Or you can call 0818 22 22 205. You can equally call 0818 22 22 206. Now, let's take this discussion further and look at the fact that our religious leaders, they gave sermon. Today, Friday, now there's going to be sermon. La ilaha illallah. Today's Friday, they're going to talk to us. Now, when they talk to us, you see, once they talk to us and they give us admonitions, and they caution us, tell us what Allah wants us to do and what Allah, bar us from doing. Immediately we are leaving that spot, we go back again into the society. Immediately we are leaving that spot, we go back into our wrongdoings. Immediately we leave that spot, we start cheating one another. Immediately we leave that spot, we start backbiting one another. Immediately we leave that spot, we start taking things that does not belong to us, that is for another person, into our own custody. La ilaha illallah. And this is what religious leaders are telling us. Where did we get it wrong in the area of the religious leaders? Are they not passing the right message? Are they not passing the right message with the right medium? Are they not telling us what they are supposed to tell us? What did you say to that? Are our religious leaders not passing the message of the book to you and I? Sometimes it is where they are even discussing in that hall. That same hall, immediately they are discussing that issue, and other people have started immediately. What you have just been told not to do, what you have been encouraged to do, you fail to do it. What you are told to abstain from, that is what you now start engaging yourself into. Once it has been acclaimed or classified or hold on an opinion that Nigeria is a religious country, one of the most religious countries so far, how can that country now be one of the most corrupt? How can the people not trust one another? How can the people not believe in one another? How can the people not be good to one another? How can the people still be fighting? How can the people, La ilaha illallah. So, our religious leader, that aspect first. Are they doing what they're supposed to do? You can be part of the discussion once again. Let's go. The number still remains 0903 22 29 797. I'll call that again. 0903 22 29 797. You can equally call 0818 22 22 205, or you can call 0818 22 22 206. Those are the numbers to call if you want to be part of this discussion, mashallah. So, what are we looking at? Nigeria, one of the most corrupt country. Nigeria, most religious. Can you put that laconically juxtaposed? Can you juxtapose them? Can you see? Does it sound? Is that La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah? We have a call here. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. Hello? Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. Hello?
Network.
I can hear you now.
Oh, you can hear me now?
I can hear you perfectly.
Okay.
So
Wa
alaikum salam. What's your name and where are you calling from?
I am an ordinary citizen, Ahmed.
From
Maraba.
Oh, you're welcome, ordinary citizen.
Okay, thank you very much.
You are on Citizen FM.
Exactly.
Right.
Your discussion this afternoon is really interesting. We are religiously inclined, but corruption takes the order of the day. Well, what is happening here is, to my own mind, a certain preacher told us that there are two hearts in human beings, spiritual heart and physical heart. The physical heart goes after the things of the world, which is about all this corruption we're talking about.
Yeah.
Then the spiritual one always have the fear of God in mind, always do what God says and run away from God's disagreements. Are you getting what I'm saying?
Yes, I'm getting you.
That's very, very thing that is bothering us. Everybody, as you rightly said, there is not only corruption, not political corruption.
Yes.
We have social corruption, we have moral corruption. Corruption everywhere.
Marital corruption.
Just name them.
Youthful corruption.
All of them.
So we are now looking at what has religion been doing. What is the essence of religion? If we are most religious, is it necessary? Does it collide that we can be most corrupt as well? Are we not to be most religious and most righteous?
That's what I'm saying. If everybody has the fear of God, you must be righteous. But what is lacking in this country? Everybody is money conscious.
Money conscious.
Everybody wants to be rich at all costs. They go into ritual doing and dealing. They go into all manner of things that God has forbidden. See that kind of a thing. So how do we get out to this? Unless our legend in Islam keep on preaching, talking to us day in, day out. Maybe one day to get to us. And we'll run away from the bad news. Thank you very much.
All right, ordinary citizen, that's a beautiful contribution. I really appreciate that. You are welcome. You are welcome. So the ordinary citizen has let us understand that the fear of God and the love of money.
Exactly.
All right.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right. You're welcome. All right. So that is what he just let us understand now, the fear of God and love of money, and you can see quite all right. So then now the question we are now asking again now, is it the case that the men of God are they passing the message as they're supposed to pass it? Why is it that the message will sink and immediately you leave, it will go? When they pass it, immediately it goes. You just see that people just go back to the same thing. So that is the discussion we are discussing. You can be part of the discussion. The number still remains 0903 22 29 797. You can equally call 0818 22 22 205, or you can equally call 0818 22 22 206. Those are the numbers to call if you want to be part of this discussion, mashallah. Yeah, you can call also. I think the WhatsApp number, you can call through WhatsApp call, and the number still remains 0818 22 22 205. That is the number to call if you want to call on WhatsApp. And the discussion is, Nigeria has been classified as one of the most religious country and is equally classified as one of the most corrupt. How do we balance this assertion? How do we change this narrative? What is really the problem, and what is it that we can do to escape from this assertion? That is what we are looking for. And we have started looking at the area of our religious leaders. We are saying that how are they passing this message to us? Why is it that when they pass this message, immediately we leave that hall, that mosque, that church, we go back again to our same self? Do they need to strategize? Do they need a strategy? Do they need a different method? I know of some religious organization that, aside from all this, they equally hold strict to some principles. You know, they hold strict to some principle, like the principle of unwanted pregnancy. When I say unwanted pregnancy, like early pregnancy, or how do I put that type of pregnancy now? You know, when a young lady get pregnant without marriage, just getting pregnant out of wedlock. You know, when you get pregnant out of wedlock, there are some religious organization that if you belong to that religious organization, what they do is that they can suspend you. Or they can even expel you from their organization. Did you see this now? Some will not even conduct your marriage for you. They in fact, they deny you. They won't even conduct the marriage, even if you have a man that wanted to accept that pregnancy. Do you get it now? Some organization hold on to that. Some, if you have business dealing, and someone cheats you, and you take the matter to the mosque, or you take it to the church, that organization, you know, they will treat that matter squarely and deal with you, either say suspend you or things like that. So religious leaders has a way in trying to let us see these bad habits, this corruption that we're talking about, you know. So they have a role to play in this instance. Do they need to really strategize? Are we supposed to look at it in another way and say these religious leaders are supposed to do this, they're supposed to do that? So in that area, I want us to look at that area very well. It is also part of why this assertion, because it's in their institution. They are the religious leader, and they are saying we are most religious and we are most corrupt. They have a lot to do. We have a lot to do, all of us. Yes, we have a lot to do. So one area. This is one area. Let's see if we can still get more calls before we can go to other areas. It's still the same discussion, but in different segments. Everybody has a role to play. You know, your own role, my own role, they are there to play so that we can get out of such assertion. Tomorrow, we want to hear that Nigeria is one of the most religious and most righteous people. Yeah, the numbers to call remain 0903 22 29 797. You can equally call 0818 22 22 205, or you call 0818 22 22 206. Those are the numbers to call if you want to be part of this discussion. Now, let's go to parenting. Our parents are our first mentor. They are our first mentors. Our parents are our first teachers. Our parents are our first religious leaders. You see this now? So, if we want to get out of this mess, if we want to get out of this negative narration about Nigerians, about we, the religious people, if we want to get out of this mess, we must go back to the source. We must do what we call tarbiyah. Islam has laid down tarbiyah for you and I on how to take care of your children, of how to rear your children, on how to, inculcate the knowledge of the Deen to your children. You are the first teacher, you are the first religious leader, you are the first imam that your children will see. If we start from that, it will take you, as Englishmen say, charity begins at home. It must not end there. It takes you to the society. So now our parents have a lot to do in order to take us out of this mess, out of this negative assertion. We must train our children. We must give them that home training and that religious training as well. We must teach them how to live life. We must let them know how to trust one another. We must let them know how to interact with one another. We must let them know not to cheat one another. You see, Luqman alayhi salatu wasalam was also taught on how to live life. His father taught him. What is it that your father ever taught you about religion? We have a call. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa barakatuh.
What's your name and where are you calling from?
Yeah, my name is Abuja. I'm calling from Wuse.
MashaAllah, Mala Abakar, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
My contribution is this.
Yeah.
Most of our religious leaders,
yeah,
they are mingling with the corrupt politicians. So most of us now, we now see corruption as something that is normal, because when you see a religious leader mingling with the politicians that we see as corrupt politicians, then we see it as normal. You can be corrupt and still be with men of God. So I think if the men of God, the religious leaders, can differentiate themselves from politics, not to involve in politics, they should just come out and say what the fact. This is corruption. This is corruption. This is corrupt. And I think people that are not learning in Islam will be able to say, okay, yes, in as well as this person is saying the right thing to these people, then Nigeria will be free of corruption. Because when you tell them the consequence of being corrupt, but in a situation whereby you are not telling them the consequence of being corrupt, they invite you, you laugh with them, you do with them, you aren't telling them the truth. So corruption persists. So that is my contribution.
MashaAllah. You see, this is what we are saying. Thank you, MashaAllah. Really appreciate your call. You're welcome. Okay, this is what we are talking about now. It means that the religious leaders have a lot to do. It's still going back to their desk. They are not telling the people the truth. This one now is saying they are not telling the politicians the truth. Equally, they are not equally telling their congregation the truth. And again, you see, when you romance, when you mingle with the bad people and you did not tell them the truth, you are encouraging them to do more. And Nigeria will continue to have that stigma. Will continue to have that negative assertion. This mess will always continue. How then do we change from there? Religious leaders must always stand with the truth. I make example the other time. When you do any wrong, religious leaders or religious organization will say, no, you are expelled, you are suspended. I think if a politician or a person, engage in a wrongdoing that is tantamount to the creed of the religion, the religious leaders have the right to say, please step aside. If they heard that also politicians has been expelled from his mosque, has been expelled from their church, that they should not come to this church again because of this, it will give them some reason to take caution when they want to engage in such things, and that will give us a better image outside. That is what we are talking about. We cannot be most religious and equally be most corrupt. What we want to be most religious and want to be most righteous. That is where we are going, and that is where we can do that. And we have said the hand of the religious leaders, we have one. We are equally pressing on the parenting, that parents also have a role to play. Yes, we have a role to play. So the political institution has their own. The marital or marriage institution has its own. Sometimes, the children go away with some things. Okay, we have another call here. Salamu alaikum. Oh yeah, what's your name and where are you calling from?
John calling from Abuja.
Okay, Mr. John, you're welcome.
I want to thank you for your word that you have spoken to us.
Thank you.
But what I want to say, we cannot put blame on our religion leader.
Okay.
They try a lot, they speak a lot. But what I know, the mindset of the politicians, they said they change their mindset. Most of them that is politicians that we are talking today, they are not, they are hypocrites. Sorry to use that word. Not that you hear me say, I'm going to church, I'm going to mosque, that make you to be a religion. You understand?
Yeah.
Most of them, their way is, they are going in different ways. So it's just like when you have a children, it's not all your children that can hear your word. Don't decide to follow another way.
But Mr. John,
Yes.
There are people who go to church, who go to mosque, and they are into business. When you engage with them, they cheat you. They reduce the measurement of goods. They lie to you. They do those things, and they come from one church, one mosque, or the other. It's not only politicians. You are into dating a lady, or a lady dating a man. The man is dating two different ladies. The lady is dating two different men, and she's going to mosque and she's going to church. You can see that all those things. That's why I say it's not only the politicians. When I say corruption, we have moral corruption, we have social corruption, we have marital corruption, we have political corruption. It now goes in all facets of life.
I understand you. That is why I said the first thing to amend is our mindset.
That's good.
You understand?
That's good.
The
Yeah.
mindset
Yeah.
Of course, if you can't change your mind, no human being can change you.
All right. Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Change your mind.
Thank you. All right. Yes, Mr. John, let us understand that it is our mindset, and that is very important. Say, our politicians or our religious leaders are trying. Seriously, we are trying. Yes, we are trying. We are trying our best. We are saying it as it is supposed to be. But most people's mindset, and that is why they will say it. Immediately they say it, people will go back to the same thing that they are doing. La ilaha illallah. Our religious leaders are trying. Please let us continue trying. Let us still put more effort, and let us try to strategize and see how far we can still be bringing those people one by one. Our mindset, very, very important. Mindset is everything. There is no how. They talk. If you are not ready to believe, you are not ready to accept, you are not ready to make your mind, free your mind so that you can be able to move ahead. If you don't do that, they are just saying nonsense. Our religious leaders are really trying. I want to agree with Mr. John. Yeah, you can be part of the discussion. The number is 0903 22 29 797. You can equally call 0818 22 22 205. You can equally call 0818 22 22 206. And what we have been discussing is that Nigeria has been classified as one of the most religious country, and it's equally classified as one of the most corrupt. How do you balance this? And how can we get out of this? And we have been having callers upon callers, and they have been making their contributions. We have heard about lack of fear of God. We have heard about the love of money. Yes, we have heard about the love of money, and we have also heard about the romancing, of religious leaders with people that does bad. Try to bring yourself out and stand and let us know where you stand. That is what a caller mentioned. And lastly, we also have Mr. John that said the mindset is everything. Our mindset is everything. When you set your mind, you move. And when you do not set your mind, you remain static. All right. That is what we are still looking at. You can see join the conversation still remain 0903 22 29 797, or you can call 0818 22 22 205, or you can call 0818 22 22 206. All right. When we are talking about these areas now, let's still look at parenting, as I'm talking about parenting the other time. Yeah, you know, inculcate that tarbiyah into your children. You know, grow up good children. If your child, my child, your children, my children, get good home religious training, and when they come out of the society, they will give us a better community to live. They will give us a better society to stay, and they will give us a society that is free, you know, of corruption. That is what I see. You see, Islam tells us that inna salata kannat ala al-mu'minin. No, he said inna salata tani'a anil fashai wal munkar wal bag'i ya'izukum la'alakum tazakkarun. In fact, when you look at salat, this 5 daily prayer is enough to wipe us off all corruption. It's enough to wipe us off social corruption, political corruption, moral corruption, marital corruption, you know, office corruption, every area of your life. It is enough. And when you now pray 5 times daily, and this salat is unable to do tani'a anil fashai wal munkar wal bag'i ya'izukum la'alakum tazakkarun, it doesn't give you that remembrance of Allah always. It doesn't make you think that there's one day you are going to meet your Lord. It never made you know that the purpose of religion is to impact on other people. It never let you know that you have responsibility to make other people around you happy. Then what kind of religion are you practicing? What kind of prayer do you go to mosque to pray always? What kind of prayer do you go to church to pray always? What kind of worship do you worship? A worship that does not inculcate good heart. People never trust you for anything, and you are a Muslim. They never trust you for anything, and you are a Christian. Then where did you put that image of religion? That is what religion has come to do for you and I, to give us a better place to live, to give us a better community to stay. So you and I go to church, go to mosque, but when we meet in the center of the universe, when we meet in our various offices, when we meet in our various schools, when we meet in our various workplaces, when we meet in places where we socialize, we now start seeing a different personality. Please, we want to change this. We want to change this narrative. We want to change this assertion. We want people to see you, want people to know you, want people to say, yes, you come out from one religion or the other, and the religion is reflecting in your attitude. Living the Quran, that is what it is said. Living the Quran is to live according to what the Quran has mentioned. Is to live according to what the Quran has mentioned. Then when you are not living according to what the Quran has mentioned, then what is the essence? And that is why Allah mentioned in the Quran, when he talked about laysa al-birra, he said righteousness is not in you praying 5 times daily. It's not enough. Walakin al-birra, that righteousness is in doing good, trying to see other people doing good, you know, making people happy, giving. When we say giving, you know, be a giver. La ilaha illallah. Impact in people. See people happy. Don't cheat people. Don't take from people and be bouncing as if you are doing good. What does not belong to you, taking it. Being corny. Being a liar. Then what is the essence of the religion? Why won't they see us with all this paraphernalia of character and habit and not say we are one of the most corrupt? Why? So we want to be one of the most righteous. So we want to change this narrative. You can be part of this discussion if you want to be part. The numbers to call remain 0903 22 29 797, or you can call 0818 22 22 205. You can equally call 0818 22 22 206. And you can call on the WhatsApp call. The WhatsApp number remains 0818 22 22 206. That is the number to call if you want to be part of this discussion. All right. We have mentioned the area of religious leaders. We have mentioned the area of parenting. Now, let's also look at our individuality. Now, our religious leaders, if they are trying now, if they fail, our parents, they are really trying. If they fail, you on your own, yes, you on your own, what effort are you putting on yourself to be a righteous person? How are you developing yourself to be a righteous person? If you and I is righteous, nobody is going to be a criminal. Yes, nobody. I want to say that again. If you and I is righteous, nobody is going to be a criminal. We want a situation, we want a society whereby you will keep or park your car and you go and your mind will be at rest that every other person is my brother's keeper. Be your brother's keeper. That is what we are talking about. If you are righteous, I am righteous, I will keep my car there. If you watch social media, there is this there's this video of a mosque, where as you are entering the mosque, you are removing your shoes, you are dropping your phone, you are dropping everything in one corner like this, and you come back, you take your phone. La ilaha illallah. Some people, when I was watching that video and somebody looked, I said, hey, this one cannot happen in Nigeria. I said, oh, it can. Then we can go, we can talk that. It can. Yes, it's just for us to change our mindset, as Mr. John just mentioned. Change your mindset. It's just for us to have the fear of God, as the ordinary citizen just mentioned. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. It is just for us not to romance with the bad people, as Brother Suleiman just mentioned. Yes, we can. You see, be your brother's keeper individually. You, inside you. There's this principle they call the principle of individualism. Let everybody on his own try to say, I want to be a good person. Then another person beside you say, I want to be a good person. Then this one say, I want to be a good person. Sometimes it's tiring. You are trying to be a good person and the other person is not trying to be a good person. La ilaha illallah. It is the good person that the other person that doesn't want to be a good person now want to start hammering on. Someone is so good to you, is so open-minded to you, and because it's open-minded to you, you are now using it as advantage, against that person. La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. Where is that religion that you are practicing? The mosque and the church that you are going, what are they telling you? You are the one to change yourself now. Allah said, I am not going to change any community. I'm not going to change any individual unless and until they start from their own. There was a time we have a slogan, change starts with you. I don't know if that slogan is there. Change starts with you. Yes. Your individuality, your person, change your person. Do you want to continue like this? Do you want to continue to be a bad person? Do you want to continue that nobody will trust you? They can't keep money in your hand. They can't keep secret in your hand. The Prophet mentioned ayatu munafikum salasa. Iza adasa kasiba. Wa iza wa'ada halafa. Wa iza tumina ana. He mentioned that you are hypocrites. Hypocrites. And he mentioned the signs of hypocrites. When they talk, they lie. When they promises, they fail. And when you keep things in their hands, when you keep promises with them, when you say, keep this thing for me, before you come back, they even deny that you did not give them anything. La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. Let us individually change. It is when you and I change to good. It is when you and I follow what is written in the book. Do you read the book? Al-Quran is called Al-Qira. It's called Al-Kitab, the book. When it's called Al-Qira, it's something that is being read. something that is being read that you must be reading. You must read and understand. Most people don't have that home training, but they train themselves and they become righteous individuals in the society. Most people don't have the opportunity of religious leaders for them to listen to religious leaders, but they do on their own. They read the religious book. You have the religious book written in different languages today. You can read it in Hausa, you can read it in Yoruba, you can read it in Igbo, you can read it in every language. English is there. And you can read and understand. And you need to change. You need to be righteous. Don't just read. You must follow what you read in action. Follow it with action. We kept saying the real meaning of education, the real aim of education is not knowledge. The real aim of education is not knowledge, it's action. It's action. So when you have knowledge, when you have read it, when you go listen to lectures, when you are equipped with the knowledge of the religion, but it doesn't reflect in your action, then it's zero. And that is why it is not the real aim. It's not to be knowledgeable. It is for you to change. It is for you to change people. It is for people to be happy with you. It is for people to see you and have that hope that, oh, I am safe in this one's hand. How safe are people in your hand? We still have a few minutes. I think we have 2 more minutes. And if you can still join this conversation, let's see if we can have one more call. The number still remains 0903 22 22 797. Or you call 0818 22 22 205. You can equally call 0818 22 22 206. Those are the numbers to call if you want to be part of this discussion. We just have few more minutes to go and the discussion still remains. Nigeria classified as one of the most religious country and is equally one of the most corrupt. And we are asking, how do we balance this? Where did we get this wrong? How did we get it wrong? How did we get it wrong? And how do we remedy this? How do we change this narrative? We have let us understand our religious leaders have a role to play. They are trying. They should keep trying. Our parents have a role to play. They are trying. They should keep trying. If you are not ready for parenting, if you are not ready to take care of children, don't go and marry. Yes, don't go and marry. Most people are not ready. They just enter into marriage. Some people accidentally they are into marriage. La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. When you don't have content, to display inside marriage, you cannot be contented in marriage. You want to hear this again? When you don't have content to display when you are married, you will not be contented in the marriage. So we need content, that you are going to display in your marriage. So if you are not ready, don't go into it. Then lastly, individualism. Each and every one of us need to do what? Up our game. We need to change. We need to be good people. We need to know that the purpose of our creation is to worship Allah. And what is that worship? Worship is good. Is doing good. What is that worship? Worship is impacting on other people. What is that worship? Worship is to be your brother's keeper. Do you get this now? Worship is to make people happy. That is worship. Yes, that is the real meaning of worship. That is the real meaning of worship. Did you get this now? So understand what worship is all about and engage in worshiping Allah by praying 5 times daily and doing all other things that Allah says you should do and abstaining from what Allah says you should abstain from. If we do this, inshallah, one day Nigeria will be classified as one of the most religious country and will equally be classified as one of the righteous. May Allah make it easy for every one of us. I still remain yours, Olayode Abdurazak, aka Philosopher King. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.